The Chinese Army LG-5, or also known as Sniper Grenade Launcher. It is a semi-automatic grenade launcher developed by Norinco and introduced in 2011. One version is chambered for the Chinese 35mm grenade and the other is chambered for the standard 40mm NATO grenades. 6 different types of ammunition are available for this rifle platform, including the programmable airburst rounds, which will detonate in the air at predetermined ranges. The launcher's designation QLU stands for light weapon in Chinese military coding standard. Pictures and a video have emerged online reportedly showing a Saudi Arabian soldier engaged in the conflict against Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen using a Chinese-made sniper grenade launcher. This appears to be the first evidence of the weapon, which looks like a prop gun from a Hollywood blockbuster, being in service outside China, as well as its first use in combat anywhere. Twitter user Suleiman Al-Dusa'uri, who also goes by Saudi_Power0 on Instagram, posted the images of the LG-5 in use with Saudi forces in Yemen on social media on November 3, 2019. It is unclear how long the Saudis have been using the weapon, but Defense Blog reported in February 2018, citing unnamed sources, that Chinese state-run arms company Norinco had secured an order for the grenade launchers from an unspecified Middle East customer. The Chinese-made sniper grenade launcher is the export version of the People's Liberation Army's QLU-11, which Norinco first introduced in 2011. The primary difference between the two is that the PLA's version fires the Chinese military's standard 35x32 grenade, while the model intended for foreign sales uses ubiquitous 40x53 rounds, an ammunition type that the United States originally developed. The QLU-11/LG-5 is a curious weapon often described as sniper grenade launcher and can be used in a shoulder-fired configuration with a bipod as a very large anti-materiel rifle. In this configuration, the QLU-11 version weighs just around 29.5 pounds. For comparison, the iconic Barrett .50 caliber sniper rifle weighs around 30 pounds, depending on the exact variant. The Chinese weapon uses a recoiling barrel and recoil-absorbing stock assembly, as seen in the video below, to help reduce the shock of firing and keep weight to a minimum. There is limited information available in English about the LG-5, but it is very possible that the 40mm LG-5 weighs more given the added strain on the weapon, and the shooter, when firing the more powerful cartridge. The video of the Saudi soldier using the weapon in Yemen, which shows him exerting a not insignificant amount of effort to get it into a firing position, makes it clear that it is anything but light regardless of its exact weight. It's worth noting that the US military does not have any shoulder-fired 40x53 weapon in service, using that ammunition only in heavier automatic grenade launchers mounted on tripods or vehicles. Previous experiments by the US military and Western defense contractors to develop individual weapons firing the 40x53 cartridge, or medium-velocity derivatives, have not been successful. Still, there has been clear interest in the United States and elsewhere in larger, multi-shot grenade launchers. The U.S. Marine Corps and American Special Operators have adopted 6-shot revolver-style grenade launchers, but which fire the low-velocity 40x46 round. With all this in mind, it's perhaps not surprising that the QLU-11/LG-5 can also be used in a tripod-mounted configuration more akin to a traditional automatic grenade launcher. This would seem almost necessary when using the weapon in conjunction with one of the larger ammunition drums. The Chinese were reportedly inspired to develop the QLU-11/LG-5, in part, by the U.S. Army's work on the XM109 anti-materiel payload rifle in the late 1990s and early 2000s. The XM109 was a derivative of the .50 caliber Barrett that used 25mm ammunition that the service had developed for a series of abortive future weapons, including the XM29 Objective Individual Combat Weapon, OIC, XM307 Objective Crew Served Weapon, OSCW, and the XM25 Individual Semi-Automatic Airburst System, ISIS, or Counter-Defilade Target Engagement, CDTE, system. Norinco had also developed the QLZ-87 grenade launcher, which is very similar in general form and function to the QLU-11/LG-5, In the late 1980s, this weapon also fired the 35x32 round and soldiers could use it in shoulder-fired and tripod-mounted configurations. The QLZ-87 has already seen some export success of its, primarily to countries in Africa, as with the older QLZ-87, in the bipod-equipped configuration. The new QLU-11/LG5 is useful as both an area fire weapon against groups of lightly armored and unarmored targets, as well as potentially a point fire weapon against individual threats. The LG5 reportedly has a maximum effective range around area target of around 3,280 feet, but can saturate a larger area with less accurate fire up 7,220 feet away, depending on the type of ammunition used. There is a diverse array of ammunition available, including high-explosive dual-purpose rounds with anti-personnel and light armor-piercing effects, as well as an airburst type to engage enemy forces hiding behind hard cover such as rocks or inside structures. With this in mind, it seems well suited to Saudi Arabia's fight against Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen, who primarily use modified civilian vehicles or operate on foot. Significant parts of the country are also mountainous, making the LG5's range and ability to neutralize threats shielded by rocky outcroppings even more valuable. Though the Saudi version we have seen so far has a simple telescopic optic, China has offered the LG5 with a computerized optic that includes laser rangefinder. This would help improve the accuracy of the weapon, which could make it even more lethal. Regardless, the LG5 also offers a weapon that is more readily portable by small units in rugged terrain than heavier automatic grenade launchers, especially those mounted on vehicles that may have more difficulty operating in mountainous environments. At the same time, it also offers increased firepower and range, as well as a greater volume of fire, over single-shot grenade launchers, including standalone types or examples that troops can carry attached to standard infantry rifles and carbines. It will be interesting now to see if reports emerge about how effective the LG5 turns out to be in actual combat. At the same time, it's worth noting that the conflict in Yemen has called into question the general quality and capability of Saudi forces, which the war zone has previously explored in detail. If the Saudi experience with this action movie-esque sniper grenade launcher is at all positive, it may help China secure further export sales of the LG5 in the future. Both launchers feed from drum magazines of various capacities. The 35mm variant has versions that can hold 3, 5, and 7 rounds, while the 40mm version has 5 and 15 round types. The grenade launcher sniper can be equipped with free-floating barrel, a fire control system with a laser rangefinder, thermal imaging capability, and a ballistic computer that gives it airburst capability. The grenade launcher sniper was tested in combat against Somali pirates in the Gulf of Aden by Chinese Marines. The grenade launcher sniper is designed for long-range use and so has been described as a sniper grenade launcher. Befitting that designation, it is said to have a very high accuracy of 3-round R100 accuracy of 1 meter at 600-meter range, meaning that with proper aiming the weapon can put 3 successive high-explosive rounds into a typical window or door. Its development was inspired by the American Barrett XM109 anti-materiel rifle, which fires 25 x 59mm grenades, and its design is based on the Chinese Sauri LR 2.50 caliber anti-materiel rifle. The sniper grenade launcher utilizes a new Type 11 precision cartridge that is derived from the DFJ-87 armor-piercing grenade. The lighter casing reduces the ammunition weight from 217 grams to 200 grams. Propellant takes a larger percentage of the cartridge space, thus improving the velocity to 320 milliseconds. This modification greatly increases the recoil, which sniper grenade launcher features a recoiling free-floating barrel with advanced primary ignition blowback action, a large muzzle brake, floating receiver, and 2 sets of buffer mechanism inside the stock and optics rail mounts to mitigate. To ensure the long-range accuracy, the electro-optical sight system with built-in fire control system is standard issue for the sniper grenade launcher. The daylight scope is designated QMD-131, while the night vision version is designated QMV-131. Both scopes feature an scope HUD, a laser rangefinder, temperature sensor, ammo selection, ballistic calculated reticle, elevation angle sensor, inclination angle sensor, drift correction sensor, self-diagnosis software. The effective range is 1000 meter for daylight scope and 800 meters for night vision scope. Development of the LG-5 sniper grenade launcher was inspired by the US-made Barrett XM109 payload rifle firing 25mm grenade ammunition originally developed for the OCSW, Objective Crew Served Weapon, program in the 1980s. Designed in 2011. This remarkable weapon is available in two versions. The first, known as LG-5 Grenade Launcher, is an export-only variant sold through Norinco Corporation and chambered for the NATO standard 40mm high-velocity grenades, 40 by 53 HV. The second version, known as QLU-11 Grenade Launcher, is produced for domestic use in China by the PLA, and is chambered for indigenous 35mm grenade ammunition, 35 by 32 senior. The LG-5, in turn, is offered in two submodels. The LG-5S is a one-man portable, lightweight version. It can be fired from an integral bipod against point targets at ranges of up to 1000 meters. The LG-5 is basically the same weapon, but equipped with a substantive tripod mount and magazines with extended capacity, to provide more effective area or long-range fire. While using Chinese-made BGJ-5 40mm sniper-grade HEDP ammunition, the LG-5S grenade launcher is claimed to have 3-round R100 accuracy of 1 meter at 600 meter range. Basically, it means that with proper aiming at 600 meters it can put 3 subsequent high-explosive rounds into a typical house window or door. It can also fire numerous other types of 40mm HV ammunition, but with less accuracy. Accuracy figures for 35mm QLU-11 grenade launcher are not available at this time. The LG-5 QLU-11 grenade launcher presumably uses long recoil semi-automatic action with additional recoil buffer in the tubular stock. Ammunition is fed from detachable drum magazines with capacities varying from 3 to 15 rounds. 15-round magazines are usually employed when the gun is fired from its tripod. This grenade launcher is equipped with an integral folding bipod and can be mounted on a tripod or on a vehicle mount. It's equipped with backup iron sights and a bikini rail above the receiver. The rail can be used to host various day and night sights, including an electro-optical sight with built-in laser rangefinder and ballistic computer. For LG-5 and LG-5S grenade launchers, this advanced unit is an optional accessory. For the 35mm QLU-11 grenade launcher, such a device appears to be the primary sighting equipment.